Zog was a curious little alien. He had always been fascinated by the unknown and loved to explore new places. His curiosity often led him to the most unexpected adventures. He lived on the planet Zircon, a vibrant world filled with colorful landscapes and strange creatures. Zircon was a place where every day brought a new discovery. His best friend was a robot named Buzz. Buzz was not just any robot. He was Zog's loyal companion, always ready to join him on his adventures. One day, they decided to explore a mysterious cave they had never seen before. The cave was rumored to hold many secrets, and Zog couldn't resist the temptation to uncover them.
Whoa, Buzz, check this out! Zog's eyes widened with excitement as he spotted something unusual on the ground.
Zog exclaimed, his voice echoing through the cave. He had found something extraordinary. He pointed to a shiny watch. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. Glowing with a mysterious light, it was just lying there, as if waiting for someone to find it. The watch seemed to have a life of its own, pulsating with energy.
Don't touch it, Zog! Buzz's voice was filled with concern. He had a bad feeling about the watch.
Buzz warned. But Zog never listened. He grabbed the watch, unable to resist its allure. The moment he touched it, he felt a strange sensation.
It's ticking! Zog's voice was a mix of surprise and excitement. The watch seemed to be counting down to something.
Suddenly, the cave filled with bright light. The light was so intense that it blinded them for a moment. Zog and Buzz closed their eyes tight, trying to shield themselves from the overwhelming brightness. When they opened them, they were in a whole new place. The cave had transformed into a different world filled with strange and wondrous sights.
Whoa, this ain't Zircon. Zog's voice was filled with awe and confusion. He had no idea where they were.
Zog said, his voice full of awe. The new place was unlike anything they had ever seen before, with towering structures and glowing plants. He tripped on a rock, too mesmerized by the surroundings to watch his step.
Ooh, Zog's exclamation echoed through the strange new world as he fell.
He yelled as he tumbled forward. Buzz shook his head, worried about what they had gotten themselves into.
This is what I was afraid of. Buzz's voice was filled with concern. He knew that their adventure had just begun, and it was going to be a challenging one. But despite the uncertainty, Zog and Buzz shared a determined look. They were ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead in this new world. Together, they set off into the unknown, ready to discover the secrets of this strange new place. Their adventure was just beginning, and they knew it would be one for the ages. With hope in their hearts and curiosity driving them forward, Zog and Buzz embraced the journey ahead. They were explorers, and nothing could stop them now. Where are we, Buzz?
Zog asked, scrambling to his feet. He was disoriented and confused, trying to make sense of the strange surroundings. He looked around. Everything was yellow and huge. The landscape was dominated by massive pyramids and ancient structures that seemed to touch the sky.
I don't know, Zog, but that watch you touched is no ordinary watch. It has strange symbols and seems to glow with a mysterious energy. I think it's a time-traveling watch. It must have transported us to a different era.
Zog's eyes went wide. He had always dreamed of adventures, but this was beyond his wildest imagination.
Time travel? Cool, but where are we? This place is weird. The air feels different and everything looks so ancient.
He looked up at the giant structures towering above them. Buzz scanned the surroundings with his high-tech gadgets, trying to gather more information.
According to my calculations, I believe we are in ancient Egypt. Ancient Egypt? What's that? Zog's curiosity was piqued.
Zog asked, scratching his head. Buzz sighed, realizing he had a lot to explain. This was going to be a long trip. They had to figure out how to navigate this ancient world and find a way back to their own time. The journey ahead was filled with unknown challenges and exciting discoveries. As they ventured deeper into the ancient ruins, they stumbled upon fascinating artifacts and mysterious hieroglyphics. Each discovery brought them closer to understanding the secrets of ancient Egypt. They even encountered ancient Egyptians who were both amazed and puzzled by their futuristic appearance. Buzz and Zog learned about the rich culture and history of this ancient civilization. Together, they solved puzzles and deciphered clues that would help them unlock the mysteries of the time-traveling watch. It was a race against time to find the key to their return journey. With determination and teamwork, Buzz and Zog were ready to face any challenge that came their way. Their adventure in ancient Egypt was just beginning, and they were prepared for the incredible journey ahead. Zog being Zog, he started poking around. He saw a giant triangle-shaped thing.
Whoa, a pyramid!
He exclaimed. He climbed onto a big rock.
Look, Buzz, I'm king of the pyramid.
but the rock started to wobble.
Oh.
Zog muttered as the rock tumbled down. The rock crashed into another rock. Then that rock crashed into another. Soon, there was a giant rock avalanche. The ground shook. Dust filled the air. When it cleared, Zog saw a very angry-looking guy with a fancy hat.
You dare disturb the Pharaoh's pyramid?
The man roared. Zog gulped.
Oops.
He knew he was in trouble now. Buzz floated in front of Zog.
My apologies, kind sir. My friend is not from around here. He doesn't understand. Yeah, I don't understand what a pyramid is.
The angry guy just sighed. He had a feeling dealing with this alien was going to be a bigger headache than the rock slide.
Hold on, Zog!
Buzz quickly pressed some buttons on the watch. They were bathed in bright light again and landed with a thud in a dusty street. There were wooden buildings, horses, and people wearing cowboy hats.
I believe we are in the Wild West, Zog.
What in tarnation is this place?
Wild West? Sounds fun.
Before Buzz could warn him, Zog was running towards a group of cows.
Moo.
The cows were not impressed. They stampeded through the town, causing chaos.
Time to go.
Buzz managed to catch up to Zog. He grabbed Zog's watch and hit the button. They landed in a grand hall. There were knights in armor, ladies in fancy dresses, and a king on a throne.
Wowzers.
Zog's eyes were wide with wonder. He ran towards a long table laden with food.
This place is fancier than a spaceship buffet.
Zog said, grabbing a giant turkey leg. Zog, being Zog, tripped and sent the turkey leg flying. It landed right on the head of a very important-looking knight.
You dare insult Sir Reginald?
He started it.
Zog retorted, pointing at the knight with his greasy fingers. The knight stood up, his face red with anger.
Prepare to be vanquished, you cretin.
Buzz knew they had to get out of there. He grabbed Zog's arm and pressed the button on the watch just as the sword was about to fall. They landed with a bump in the middle of a busy street. Cars honked, people shouted, and bright lights flashed everywhere.
Whoa, now this is more like it, Zog exclaimed, his three eyes wide with excitement.
Where are we now, Buzz?
It appears we've traveled to the future, Zog, Buzz said, his voice barely audible above the cacophony. This is Earth, in the 21st century.
Zog looked around in awe at the towering buildings and the strange boxy vehicles zipping around.
The future, huh? He said, grinning. This place is wild.
Zog, being Zog, wandered into the middle of the road. He was fascinated by the hustle and bustle of Times Square, a place unlike any he had ever seen before. The bright lights, the towering billboards, and the sea of people moving in every direction were mesmerizing to him.
Hey, look at me! I'm a human! He yelled, trying to copy the people rushing by. He mimicked their hurried steps, their frantic gestures, and even their occasional shouts. Zog was having the time of his life, completely unaware of the chaos he was causing.
Cars screeched to a halt, horns blared, and people yelled in frustration. The normally fast-paced flow of traffic came to a grinding stop as drivers tried to avoid hitting the oblivious alien. Pedestrians on the sidewalk stopped to stare, some pulling out their phones to capture the bizarre scene.
Zog, get out of the street! Buzz cried, dodging a speeding taxi. This is not a good time to play pretend! Buzz had been trying to keep an eye on Zog, but the alien's curiosity and energy made it nearly impossible. He weaved through the traffic, desperately trying to reach his friend.
Zog, oblivious to the chaos he was causing, continued to dance in the middle of the road. He twirled and spun, his movements carefree and joyful. To him, the honking horns and shouting people were just part of the city's music, a symphony that he was eager to join.
Beep, beep! I'm a car! He shouted, much to the dismay of the actual cars trying to navigate around him. Zog's antics were causing a massive traffic jam, and the drivers were growing increasingly impatient. Buzz finally reached Zog and grabbed his arm, pulling him out of the street. Come on, Zog, let's get out of here before we cause any more trouble, Buzz said, leading his friend away from the chaos.
Buzz had enough. He grabbed the watch and hit the button. They were bathed in light one last time. When they opened their eyes, they were back in the cave on Zircon.
Home sweet home, Zog sighed, collapsing onto the dusty cave floor. That was fun, but kinda scary, he admitted. Buzz nodded. Indeed, Zog, time travel is a serious business. Perhaps we should stick to exploring caves for a while, Buzz suggested.
Zog thought about it for a moment.
Yeah, you're right, Buzz. Caves are cool, he agreed. He looked down at the watch in his hand.
But maybe just one more trip? He suggested, a mischievous glint in his eye.
Buzz groaned. He had a feeling that no matter what, life with Zog would never be boring.